See this blazer? I've had it hanging on this door for almost a year now, and some of you might have noticed it. I am 61 years old. I make videos about Ikigai and letting go after 50. So why is it so hard to let go sometimes? I wanted to talk to you about decluttering through a Wabi-Sabi lens. And I know what you're thinking. What does that even mean? Well, it completely changed how I look at my inventory room. I'm a slow living turtle, and Wabi-Sabi lives right inside that same intentional philosophy. That inventory room, it had been bothering me for a long time. Okay, so this is the room that I used to call my inventory room. It was full of clothes from a business I used to run, as well as boxes of my family's photos that my brother Guy and I are going to go through together one day. And I had been walking past that room and feeling a little guilty every single time. I actually knew why I hadn't dealt with it, and I think you might recognize the reason. It had to do with growing out of a version of myself I used to be, figuring out what actually mattered to me in this second half of life. And I just didn't really want to do the work. Do you have a room like this? A drawer, a closet, a corner of your garage, something you walk past every day with that little feeling of guilt? Because I think most of us know exactly why we're avoiding it. We just haven't said it out loud yet. So I finally made a decision. I was going to take everything I could to the buy-sell trade stores. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and just start letting go. One of the things that I know is going to slow me down is I'm going to go through these bins and I'm going to be wondering, should I keep any of these things? When I brought Wabi-Sabi to this decluttering process, it completely changed the question I was asking. Have you used this in the past? Wabi-Sabi didn't even go there. Instead, it had me asking something completely different. What was this stuff really costing me? Not in money, but in space, in mental energy, in room for what's actually coming next. Okay, so I went through and I sorted and delisted 2 big IKEA bags worth of items. And hi Sven, you gonna go up? Hello buddy. I have 1 bag full of donations. The one item that I'm just not sure about donating yet is this t-shirt. I'm gonna take a photo of it. I have an app that I created. It's called Keepsake Diary. And the app is something that you can use when you're decluttering. And that way you can take a photo of an object or even like a moment in time, and then you can write the story behind it. And it's something that you have just for you. It's not social media, so it's not like other people can see it. It's just something for you to keep. I need to go pack this up and run out to get in line because it's Saturday, so it might take a really long time for them to go through my items. But anyways, wish me luck. I hope they take a lot of items. We'll see. Subconsciously, I must really want to hang on to that white blazer because I forgot it at home. It's still hanging on my door. I'm gonna go home and get it. Here's the thing about Wabi-Sabi. It's not about getting rid of everything either. Something can be old, flawed, completely unusable, and still be worth keeping it if it holds a story you're not ready to release. Wabi-Sabi just helped me get honest about what was actually worth keeping and what I was holding on to out of habit or guilt, or just because I hadn't dealt with it yet. Hello. Yes.
All right, go to back.
Awesome. Yeah, just the two. All right, great. Oops. Thank you. All right.
All right. Probably be about 15-20 minutes if you want to just walk around.
Sure. Thank you. Such a different thing for me if I'm just shopping for myself. Who knows what my style is, too. Am I indie sleaze? Maybe I'm very grunge? I'm definitely not coquette. And here's something I really want to mention. We live in a consumer-based society, and most of us have just accepted that more is better without even questioning it. And I think that's why so many of us end up with rooms like mine, full of things that stopped serving us a long time ago, but somehow that stuff just never left. Wabi-Sabi helps us stop overconsuming. When you really fall in love with what you already have, you just stop needing more. Just recently, I went to a BTS concert alone, and for the first time in a really long time, I spent an entire evening on an experience. No things, no overconsumption, just being completely present in a moment. And I came home feeling more alive than I had in years. You know what I find? That there's an emptiness to having a lot of things that we really don't love or need. But that night at the concert, I was filled with so much impractical joy. And really, that's when I knew. The last thing I wanted to have was a storage room filled with old inventory. But what I realized standing at that counter, I really didn't see it coming. Things that I thought were really, really good finds. Things I had mentally priced on the drive over. And standing there at the counter, something shifted in me that wasn't really about the money at all. The moment she passed on those items, the story I'd been telling myself just dissolved. And what was left underneath was the real question. Was I holding on to all of this because it had value, or because letting go meant admitting that version of me was really over? And that's when I had to be honest about what that inventory room actually meant to me. During lockdown, my mom passed away and I was laid off. And this little business, and actually that's also when I discovered BTS, by the way. My business and BTS got me through that really rough time. It gave me something to focus on, income when I really needed it, a way to keep moving forward when everything else felt like it was falling apart. And then my granddaughter Malia was born, and I babysit her 2 days a week, and I realized I couldn't babysit, make YouTube videos, and run my thrifting business. It was just too much. So I chose Malia and this channel. But I never really had a plan for how to close my thrifting business. So that room, I just tried to ignore it. There's a BTS song called Spring Day that many people believe was written about a tragic ferry accident in Korea. It's a song about a loss so deep it feels like a winter that won't ever end. So this is my interpretation, and I'm paraphrasing here. Sometimes the sadness isn't just for the thing you're letting go of. It's for the version of you that lived in that season. But as the song reminds us, no winter lasts forever. And just like the seasons, that chapter of my life had to end so this new one could begin. Letting go of my inventory room isn't just about clearing space. It's about making room for the new possibilities this spring is bringing. I didn't just build a business in that room. I built a version of myself that got through something really hard. And the clothes in those bins, they weren't clutter. They were evidence. Evidence that I had survived, that I had figured something out, and that whole chapter of my life actually mattered. There's another BTS song called Answer, Love Myself. So this is my own interpretation. This song asks why we're so much harder on ourselves than we are on others. It talks about how even the scars of your mistakes make up your own constellation. I love that image because I like to think of that constellation as my personal wayfinding device. Those scars, the layoff, the grief, the years of survival mode, they're really the stars that show me where I've been, so I have the courage to see where I'm going next. And standing at that counter, I finally understood what that really meant for me. I wasn't holding on to inventory. I was holding on to proof. Proof that I had been someone capable and resourceful and strong. But loving yourself, really loving yourself, means trusting that you still are all of those things, even without the evidence sitting in plastic bins. You don't need the proof anymore. You are the proof. And here's what I came to understand. Decluttering isn't just about clearing space. At its deepest level, it's an act of self-love. It's saying, I trust my future enough to make room for it. I trust that experiences matter more than accumulation. I trust that who I'm becoming deserves more space than who I used to be. And the Wabi-Sabi answer to all of it was that it did matter. That chapter absolutely mattered, and it was also over. And both of those things could be completely true at the same time. Wabi-Sabi doesn't ask you to pretend a chapter didn't mean something. It asks you to honor it and then let the season change. Is there something in your life right now that you're holding on to, not because you still need it, but because letting go feels like losing proof of something? A version of yourself you worked really hard to become, that you're just not quite sure you want to let go of yet. Because that's what that inventory room was for me. And I have a feeling I'm not alone in that. The room wasn't empty and it wasn't perfect. It still needed a lot of work. But there was space now. And in Japanese philosophy, there's a concept called ma, intentional empty space, not emptiness for its own sake, but space that had been cleared on purpose, that meant something because of what I chose to release. That room had ma now, and it felt really different in there. And somewhere in all of this, I finally understood the difference. The clothes in that inventory room, I was keeping them for the wrong reasons. They were costing me mental space I didn't even realize I was spending. But Kelsey's picture, those photo boxes waiting for Guy, my keepsake bins in the bedroom, those are all kept for completely different reasons. They hold real stories. They honor real chapters. They stay. That's Wabi-Sabi decluttering. Not getting rid of everything, just finally being honest about which is which. And speaking of keepsakes, I still have 3 bins in my bedroom. Things I don't use, things I don't display, but things I just want near me. Like my mom's things, art my daughters gave me, sentimental things. I think those of us in the second half of life have more keepsakes because we've simply lived longer. Whatever fits in those bins is safe, because I learned something a long time ago that still holds true. Letting go of an item doesn't mean letting go of a memory. Keeping the memory alive is how we honor the people and the chapters that shaped us. And here's what that inventory room was actually becoming, because this was the part that finally made me deal with it. My daughter Kelsey is having her second baby in about 2 months. She lives right upstairs from me, and my life is about to get beautifully chaotic. I wanted that room to become a real guest room, a comfortable place for Emmy to stay when she visits, a calm corner in what was about to become a very full and very joyful household. That's the truth about decluttering. I had to learn the hard way. It was never really about the stuff. It was about making room for what's actually coming next. So here are 3 ways Wabi-Sabi can help you declutter. Instead of asking, have I used this in the past year? Ask yourself, does this still belong to who I'm becoming? That one question changes everything. And when you start letting go of what doesn't belong to who you're becoming, you create Ma, that breathing room we talked about. And that space isn't empty. It's full of what comes next. And the most wabi-sabi thing you can do in the long run, fall in love with what you already own. Because when you really see the beauty in what's already yours, you just stop needing more. I got myself through lockdown, grief, and a layoff, and I came out the other side. I mattered, and now I have Ma, space for all that I'm still becoming. Slow living gave me permission to take care of things at my own pace. And Wabi-Sabi gave me permission to do it imperfectly. And what about this? It cost me $3 at the bins. And I really thought it would sell because it's an expensive brand, but neither store wanted it. So I'm going to donate it. Just saying it out loud feels pretty wabi-sabi to me. I'm living proof that keepsakes matter, especially in the second half of life. And that's exactly why I created Keepsake Diary. I'm giving it to all my members along with early video access, community posts, a hangout room, and more. If you'd like to join, I'd love to have you in the membership. The link is down below. And if you want more slow living in your life right now, the playlist on the screen is a really good place to start. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find wellness and Ikigai today and every day. See you next time.